It's estimated that 9% of U.S. farmers are veterans. Once defending it, now feeding it, many find that the steady schedule and physical stamina needed for farm work make it an easier switch during what can be a difficult time of transition. Military veterans focused on sustainable and regenerative methods, like here at the farm at Barefoot Bend, are a big bolster to the local food system. And it's amazing to see programs that help support it. That's our focus in this Good Roots. Located just outside of Benton in Lonsdale, the farm at Barefoot Bend is owned and operated by former Army Ranger Damon Helton and his family. What may be most interesting about Damon's story is that before the military, he had never farmed before.
We dabble in a little bit of everything, believe it or not. So I've got egg layer chickens, I've got pigs, so we do a pastured pig program, a grass-fed beef program, I've got a couple donkeys, got a couple horses, goats, lambs, guineas, got a little bit of vegetables. I had a midlife crisis, is what I tell everybody. So I had 5 deployments between Iraq and Afghanistan. And when I got out, in my head, I was just gonna go out and get this sales job and just go make a whole bunch of money. And I rapidly started to realize that, that wasn't doing it for me. I kind of had this empty spot, and so my wife and I were just taking a Sunday drive and found this farm. It was like, all right, well, let's buy this farm. And she looked at me, she's like, what are you talking about? You want to put an offer in on a farm? And I was like, yeah, I want to be a farmer. So I quit my job that I'd had for 5 years. Really good paying sales job. Had a pretty healthy 401k for being out of the military for a short amount of time. Cashed it all in and bought a farm. For the first few months, we didn't really know what we were doing. We were just kind of spinning. And I looked at everything from row crops to tobacco. And we started looking at this group, Southern Sustainable Agriculture Working Group. That's where we found the program Farm to Farm, which is focused on veterans getting into agriculture. That absolutely was instrumental in helping us get started.
Just like Green Acres, he decided to move out here.
As part of Senator Boozman's annual agricultural tour, he made a visit to a couple of Arkansas veteran farms.
We've got a lot of veterans that are coming back and deciding what they want to do in the next phase of their life. And farming is something that appeals to a lot of them. And the question is, how do you get into it? It's kind of daunting. It's not your area of expertise. So Arm to Farm programs like that really do an outstanding job of not only helping them get started, but these are programs that will kind of hold their hands from then on. I think that Arm to Farm will continue to expand. Certainly, these are programs that myself in my situation, working with agriculture, we're very interested in. I'm certainly very concerned about suicide in the military, our veterans, and amongst those in the regular military.
Missions every night, it was just a lot. What I didn't realize is the hole that it was going to fill in me from not serving anymore. Being able to fill that hole, fill that vacancy was huge.
There are not enough services out there in the rural areas. There are 13 community mental health centers in the state of Arkansas, 13, and there are 75 counties. And that's not very many. I've heard this many times, well, if they're talking about committing suicide, they're not gonna do it, are they? They're just talking. And that used to be sort of like an adage, well, if they talk about it, they're not gonna do it. If they're talking about it, they're thinking about it. And if they're thinking about it, there's a possibility they're gonna do it. They have to re-enter not only the society as a whole, but they have to re-enter their families, their relationships that have continued to develop as they've been gone. Sometimes, there's guilt, there's remorse, post-traumatic stress disorder that so many of them come back with. And that's unpredictable, and oftentimes we don't know what's gonna trigger it, but when it does, they go into, full-blown trauma response. It's just gonna take time, and it takes understanding and a lot of patience on the people who are involved with the person returning to try to understand he's not the same right now. He may never be the same.
One of the programs that we've advocated and worked really hard to create, which is just now getting off, is allowing the groups in the local communities that are doing a very, very good job in suicide prevention, giving them small grants so that they can be helpful, get involved, and then also steer them into the VA besides providing the support that they can give.
Damon, I know from my experience, not nearly as extreme as y'all, but working EMS, you have bad calls, you're up all night, you're doing stuff that nobody outside of your little world can understand, can relate to.
It's easy for people to, say, oh, well, man, I can understand what you're going through. They don't understand, but it's not because, there's not a sense of empathy there or anything. They just don't get it. And that none of that's normal,
yeah.
Right? I mean, working an EMS call or anything like that, or, watching somebody get burned up with an IED, none of that's normal. I mean, these aren't normal things. PTSD is a real thing. And, it can happen from a car accident or losing a loved one or anything like that.
What was the biggest transition helper for you? And why is agriculture a part of that?
I would say the first thing is finding that level of service again. I had a purpose. There was a nutritional aspect too. I was eating good.
Yeah.
I was feeding my family well. I started sleeping better. I mean, there was just all these things that started coming about because I had a better association with food. Food security for my community. Our farm is a small farm, but we produce a lot.
Right.
And so, we can feed a good amount of people. And I think that the more these local farms actually realize the big impact they can have, I think we're going to start to see more of that, and hopefully we start to see more veterans getting involved in agriculture. And I'm an Army guy, so not to steal the Marine Corps deal, but adapt and overcome. That's a real military mindset, and so I think it lends itself very well to farming, because you do have to adapt and you do have to overcome. And I mean, these animals are dependent on us.
I love it. I love what y'all are doing. I thank y'all for being an inspiration to so many other people looking for light in that darkness. So
there's light there. That's all I can say to other veterans is there's light there. There's a purpose that you can find. I didn't know that I was going to find that purpose when I started down this road.
Many veterans return home feeling lost and without hope. Agriculture may be a new mission to transition back to civilian life. For Good Roots, I'm Logan Duval.
Major funding for Good Roots is provided by Arkansas Farm Bureau.
Arkansas Farm Bureau, advocating the interests of Arkansas's largest industry for more than 80 years. Arkansas counts on agriculture. Agriculture counts on Farm Bureau.